All right, welcome into the Pillow Talk edition of Pugs and Parker, a nightly outing that we do each and every evening here at 9 o'clock. It is the second of two streams that I do. You can join me for High Noon. That's Pugs and Company. High Noon, what we do there is we go through all the day's trending topics, current events, anything that people are talking about, hot topics, whatever. That's what we give for you there at noon. We'll get you all prepped up. Anything you need to talk about, anything somebody might ask you about, anything that someone might say, hey, did you hear about? You can listen to the noon show. Oh, there we go. Hey, it's official, folks. YouTube just sent out a blast saying that we're on the air. All right, let's bring in the other half to this. His name is James Parker. Hi, James Parker. Oh, the crowd goes wild. How are you?
Oh, I'm well. Thank you for having me, sir. Good evening.
We almost had a slight delay in the show today because James Parker was out cheating on the show. He's out there doing other broadcast things. Whatever. And I have spent the last, 15 minutes or so. My son always waits till just before showtime to unveil his latest from the lab. He's always in the lab with a pen and a pad. He's always working on new beats. He's got this new beat he's very high on, and we've been trying to figure out a way for him to send it to me so that I could listen to it, but we weren't able to figure that out. So now I gotta wait. Now we gotta wait because it's bedtime for him. Time to jump in the bath.
In what program has he made this beat? How can he not bounce it down to an MP3 and just email it to you?
Look who you're talking to, dude. I don't know. What was that? Slavic? What were you just speaking to me? I have no idea what any of that stuff was. All right, let's get started.
Slavic.
We've got a lot of stuff to do today. We've got a lot of stuff to get in today, and today's probably just going to be an hour-ish. Come on. Just come on. I got stuff to do. I got a lot of stuff to do. But what are you waving for?
They're saying hi, so I'm saying hi back.
Oh, hi, John. Hi, Albert. Hi. John said hi twice. Oh, John. No, well, John was saying hi to everybody. All right, should we just get started? Should we just get rolling? Should we stop dicking around and trying to... And he's gone. I hear a cat and he's gone. There he is. He's back.
I'm not gone. I was just getting out the curtain.
Curtain? Oh, I see what you did. You had to change. All right, each and every night we like to start out with a little something we call the Nightly Monologue. It's brought to us here by our man James. Here it comes. It's the Nightly Monologue. And it's still so low. I don't know why it's so low.
Maybe you can just sing it. It helps if you sing it.
Thank
you. All right. According to a new survey, 61% of Americans would be unable to cover a $1,000 emergency expense. Financial planners say if you're one of these people, you should avoid emergencies.
Couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. All right, continue.
You mean our studio audience is a little slow today. According to a new survey, women criticize themselves an average of 8 times a day. And my research shows that they criticize men an average of 8 times an hour.
Oh, you got this in the audience today. They don't want to hear that that's way too loud.
Toxic masculinity. The world's most expensive hotel room is at the Palms Casino in Las Vegas. Up on the penthouse, there's like a single solitary room on the rooftop. It's $100,000 per night, plus a $3 key deposit. Because what if you lose the key? Yeah. America's oldest person is a Nebraska woman. She's 115 years old. Her name's Thelma. And sadly, for the last 30 consecutive years, she's been the only one to show up at her high school reunion. It's so morbid, kind of sad.
Was that the joke?
You don't like gerontology humor?
Oh, because she's old. I get it.
Because she's old as hell.
Oh, it was a thinker.
January is National Book Month, or as the Kardashian family calls it, January.
You're going too fast, man. Can you make these jokes a little bit longer? Thank you.
Start pushing the button right now, okay?
I gotta X out. I gotta move around. I'm moving around. All right, go ahead.
I'll get you a soundboard. We've talked about this.
Okay, January. Okay.
Yeah, January's Baby Safety Month. Since you didn't know that was coming. Organizers say this year's focus is on the danger of texting while crawling.
Oh, slamming defense.
You're overselling that one. That one kind
No.
of sucked.
Well, it
That one
said
kind of sucked.
whatever.
All right, and finally,
Whatever.
if we're so good at this,
Okay.
happy birthday to Nicole Eggert, who's 50 years old. Happy birthday to Nicole Eggert, who's 50 years old, according to the National Enquirer. The former Baywatch babe's been packing on some pounds. To give you an idea of how big she's gotten, she's working on a new project. It's going to be on Netflix. It's called Whale Watch.
Hey! First of all, my dude, how dare you? You know that I am Texas's #1 egghead. I am. How dare you? How dare you take shots at Nicole Eggert? One of the most. We eggheads, we're gonna come after you. We're gonna come after you. I actually gave a nice little tribute to Nicole Eggert today on the afternoon show in our birthday segment. I also mentioned that she plumped up a little bit, but I didn't make any jokes at her expense because have you seen her? She's still beautiful. She is still beautiful. She's just not 16 anymore.
Dude.
That's what happens.
Okay.
Dude, what do I got to pull up Nicole Eggert now pictures? Because I will.
Bro, I don't ruin it. You're going to ruin it for a lot of people out there. You're going to ruin it for a lot of eggheads out there. Well, if you haven't caught up with her, Pugs is about to ruin it. Just fair warning. If you don't want Nicole Eggert ruined, turn the channel and come back in about 3 minutes.
What's the matter with you? She's okay.
It is so bad, dude.
It is not so bad.
Bro.
How dare you? All right. Boom. Look at that. That is not so bad. That is hot.
Yeah, well, that's not what I'm looking at over here.
Oh, wait, you got some other ones? Okay, so she put on a little weight. She's 50. She's
no, it's understandable.
She's always going to be that, man. In the mind is a powerful tool.
Well, leave it right. Stop what you're doing right now before. Oh, there it is. That's the one. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that one in the 4-shot over at the kind of center screen there. Look at that.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
That's not Nicole Eggert. That's not the Nicole Eggert I knew and loved. And
That
it's not
is
fair. That's an impossible.
Oh, would you look at her? She's always going to be that.
Yeah, when it's 1987.
And she's still beautiful. Look at her. She's beautiful here. She can.
Yeah, she can doll up good, okay, but she does kind of have.
She's fine. Okay, so there's one bad picture. One picture of her.
Bro, that's an irredeemable. That is irredeemable. There's what? How do you come back from that?
When is that?
And it's okay. You're 50. Look, I look worse than that already. Fewer people would like to get with me than would like to get with what you're just showing right now. I understand. I am below that. She
may have rebounded. She may have because she's working with good genes.
Agreed. And no one's going to be beautiful forever. That's not how things are supposed to be.
Even if they are a 40-inch. That was a gene joke. I don't know. I think she's still beautiful. I didn't see
this pictures. Cat, damn it.
I do. I hear the cat, and I think it's charming.
Hang on. I got to let him out. Or her out. Hang on.
You do what you got to do. I'm going to have another drink here. All right, we're going to get into a bunch of things today. We're going to, James and I have been arguing, so we want to break down the Cowboys game. Yeah, we're going to talk football. Sorry, folks. We're going to talk about the big Cowboys game that's coming up on Sunday afternoon, taking on the 49ers. I want to get into Britney, because, this show is your #1 stop for all things Britney. She's firing back now. There's some Satanists in Illinois who have started an after-school club in an elementary school, and people are losing their shit. I mean, there's stuff to talk about. We're going to try and cram it all in. Hey, James, can we get started here? Can we talk about, since this is an addendum really to something we had been discussing earlier in the week? Remember, we spent like an hour just skimming through Britney's Instagram page.
It was not an hour wasted. It was a very valuable hour.
Well, yeah, it was. Yes. And we were talking about this whole thing began because we were discussing Jamie Lynn Spears, the little sister of.
I didn't watch the interview this morning. She was on Good Morning America or something.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday, and then she was on Dateline last night, or 2020 or Primetime. I don't know, whatever the hell it is. ABC. I don't watch ABC anymore. Yeah. So they do that thing now where they have a hot interview, so they make you watch the first 5 minutes of it on Good Morning America, and then they play the next 15 later that night on prime time. Tune in later tonight. No, come on, man. What am I tuning in here for? So Jamie Lynn Spears did her whole thing, and she's, I just want to be friends with Britney again. Yeah, you want to be friends with her $100 million. That's what you want to be friends with. You don't really, because for the 13 years that daddy was controlling the checkbook, you didn't give a shit about your big sister. You did. I tried it. You didn't try to do nothing. You didn't. So, she did her tearful thing. And Britney responded today. Britney ain't happy. Britney is not. Britney. First of all, Jamie Lynn, whatever you said to Juju Kwan, what's her name? Juju Wang, Juju. It's something.
Don't ask me, man. I don't know.
Oh my God. Now I'm being like racist against Asians. Her name is Juju, and then her last name is something that is very Asian. Be like, if she was Irish, I would say, what's her name? Bridget O'Hara?
Murphy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm not being racist. It's like Juju.
Like Wang?
Juju Wang?
Wing?
Juju Kwan. All right, so look, I'm going to put this in right now, and it's going to come up, and then you're going to be like, oh, he wasn't that far off. Not Chen, Juju.
Is she Korean? Then it would be Kim.
Juju Chang. It is Juju Chang. See, it's not like I'm being racist or anything. I knew I was close. I was in the ethnic area. Wang, Chung. At least
Chang. It's all. Yeah.
It's not all the same.
I didn't say that.
You almost did. You were thinking it.
Maybe.
It's not all the same.
All right. So what did Madam
They
Chang?
all do have the same haircut. Oh, I was racist against Asians today. I was talking about in the High Noon show. You know what happened? I was watching. Have you seen the Eternals? You got kids.
Can you leave me out of this, dude? If you
No, because I need you to back me up. Look, I'm in trouble if I need you to back me up. So I was watching the Eternals. You know that movie, the Salma Hayek. You don't know the movie The Eternals?
No, I mean I haven't seen it. Okay. I'm aware it exists.
You got the Disney Plus at your house?
I do.
All right, it's on the Disney Plus now. Also, if you have cable, it's on pay-per-view and all that stuff. It was just the movie theaters like a couple weeks ago, and now, well, anyway, you can see it on Disney Plus. So the Eternals are this team of superheroes that come from another planet. They've been watching over the Earth for like 1,000 years, more than that, since the dawn of time.
No, it's very nice of them.
Yeah, cool. Where were they when when Thor and the Avengers needed some help? They were nowhere to be found. Apparently, they were just up there watching.
Well, where were them during the whole Hitler thing?
Well, they do explain it. They say, our job is to protect Earth from something called the Deviants. And the Deviants are a race of space monsters who have been trying to take over the Earth for thousands of years. And every time they show up, the Eternals come back and they fight off.
So Jamie Lynn Spears is a deviant?
No, how did I get onto this? Oh, I'm sorry. I went so far downfield. Thank you for bringing me back. I was racist against Asians because one of the Eternals is a Korean actor. And I saw him. And the minute I saw him, I went, oh my God, it's Wong, right? Because Doctor Strange, I love Doctor Strange, and his sidekick is Wong, and Wong is really funny. And he's a large, rotund, Korean guy, dark hair, Korean eyes, that's pretty much it. And I saw him like, oh, it's Wong. And I'm watching and I'm thinking, how the hell could Wong play two different superheroes within the same Marvel universe? I go, that's weird, because Doctor Strange's right-hand guy is Wong. He's already been established. And now here he is as an Eternal. How do you explain this? Yeah, it wasn't Wong. It was just another Korean guy.
Totally different guy, right?
Totally different guy who looks exactly like Wong.
Well, look, I'm not saying
exactly like him.
I'm not saying they all look alike, but when there's 1.3 billion of any population, some of them are going to look similar.
No, see, you're being nice.
Look, no. I don't have to be nice. We have the Apple, the facial recognition algorithm that was having problems in China because it kept opening for anyone, basically.
Yeah. See, you can't do. See, in America, it works because we're a melting pot of all different ethnicities. We're all mixed up. We have different kinds of faces. We have different color hair, different kinds.
Yeah, they don't have a Patrick Mahomes in China.
No, they don't. They don't. And they're all the same ethnicity and people from the same part of the world.
And there's a billion of them.
There's a billion of them.
There's going to be some repeats in there.
Are there a billion Koreans?
Oh, no.
Yeah, we're talking about Koreans. But still.
30 million people just in this little thing the size of not even Texas.
Right. I'm just saying, when you get one that's heavy set with the dark hair in the Korean shaped eye socket.
So
I don't
wait.
even know. How am I? What, Pugs? They don't have eyes that are a little bit almond. That's a fact.
No. You look, you've actually dated Asians, but we are both like getting pretty good at Asian bingo.
Oh, I'm great at it.
Yeah, based on different phenotypes, I can tell the difference between a Korean, a Japanese, a Chinese, and kind of a Vietnamese. And then I kind of mix up my Laotians and Cambodians completely.
Well, that's the same thing. That's like mixing up North and South Carolina. That's like
is it that similar? Because I always get those mixed up, and then they kind of bleed into this old Thailand, that Myanmar, Burma thing.
Oh, well, forget about it. Those people, they start to take on a whole different look. They're almost like starting to look
and
like
then when you get to Bangladesh, you're in the Desi strip.
Yeah.
It's all Desi all the way to Pakistan.
But Cambodian, Vietnamese, and Laotian, there's really, you got to be high level to be able to. There is no difference.
Well, the Vietnamese are a little different, but I feel like the Vietnamese overlap with the Japanese more than the Chinese as far as their phenotypes.
Well, the Japanese don't look anything like the Chinese. If you show a Japanese person,
they look more like the Chinese than you and me.
Yeah, I think that Koreans look like the perfect middle ground between Chinese and Japanese.
Oh yeah, and what you said about the eyes is absolutely, they have their own little distinct characteristics around the eyes that set them apart from Japanese and Chinese. Totally agreed.
And also the bridge of the nose. That's a Chinese trait. I won't describe it because God forbid it be taken out of context, but you can tell there is a difference in the bridge of the nose. And there's also a difference in the way, how do I say this without insulting people?
You don't, you just plow through
it. Okay. Well, there is like a flatness to the face that cheekbones are more sunken. And so that causes more of a flatness and a round face.
So the greatest museum that you that you need to go to is the World War II Museum in New Orleans. It's my favorite museum ever that I've ever been to in any city, in any situation. And they have a whole gallery of some of the propaganda posters, and they even have like a little section that's like, listen, we know this is a little racially insensitive according to today's standards, but if you want to know what was really going on, this is what the government was plastering all over downtowns across tens of thousands of cities in America.
We almost can't blame our grandparents. I mean, from the time they were children, they were walking down the street seeing government-sponsored propaganda that basically supported all the crazy racist ideas they had straight through to the 80s. I mean...
Well, actually, it was very, very pro-Chinese because at the time, China was locked in a life and death struggle with Japan, and we were their allies. Strangely enough, we were out. Isn't that so weird? As recently as World War II, we were allied with Russia and China.
Oh, hold on a second.
Okay.
Hey, I'm in the middle of a show. What's going on?
Okay.
Hi, mates.
No. What's you can what? Don't swear or anything. Do you got your beat? I'm here with James, and I was telling him you were working on a new beat that you were trying to figure out how to send to me.
You can't bounce down an MP3, dude?
So what I was trying to...
Go ahead.
So what I was trying to do was I was going to duo you and then play the audio through the duo.
Oh, can we do it at like 10 o'clock?
My phone locks at.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because you're a youngin'. All right, well, let's do it tomorrow. Send it tomorrow. All right, I love you.
Yeah, I love you too, bye.
Okay, later, Bones. There he goes. There he goes. We were FaceTiming. He was like naked from the waist up. I'm like, what are you doing? You're working on your beats shirtless. He's in his room in his underwear. He's got his headphones on.
You don't need a shirt for that. There's no rule that says you have to wear a shirt when you're making music.
He looks like he's bagging cocaine for some cartel. He's like,
someone's got to weigh it out. It's not going to weigh itself.
It's like stripped down and working it. All right, so let's get into the Britney Spears thing. Let's move away from the troublesome, we'll call it, discussions about the
Asian phenotype discussion, right?
Yes, it's troublesome. That's all. I'm just telling you, there are issues. So Britney Spears, she, God, all right, I'm going to read this to you because she is a wackadoo. Britney tweeted. Britney doesn't tweet much. Britney, she did this on Instagram, and I think she also did this as a tweet. So here is Britney Spears' response to her sister yesterday going on TV with Juju Chang from ABC News and going, I love my sister. I want a piece of her $100 million. You know, I tried to do. It's basically what she was doing.
Right.
And I have a new book about how much I love my sister and how much I tried to do to help her. Because you see, the other thing is that Jamie Lynn Spears understands that her meal ticket is being associated with Britney. Nobody wants to invite Jamie Lynn Spears anywhere if there's no chance of Britney showing up. You know what I mean? I mean, you want to be close to, you're friends with Jamie Lynn Spears because you think, oh, we get to be best friends, and then maybe one time I'll run into Britney. That ain't happening.
Yeah.
That ain't happening now. So she's got a book out. So here's what Britney has to say. And James, this is very interesting because you pointed this out the other day. Britney Spears is a 40-year-old woman, and she writes and communicates like a 16-year-old. Like her voice and her tone in the way she writes, it's like, this is not a grown, mature woman.
Yeah, maybe 15, right?
Yeah, it's very stunted. So I got really sick last night. 104 fever, maybe higher. Not sure because I stopped checking. I'm never sick. So if I do get sick, I'm a drama queen. Yeah, I imagine that's probably true. And I'm guessing it wasn't 104 because people go to the emergency room when you're a grown up at 104. 104 is maybe a fever that you can get away with at 10 years old, but 104 for a 40-year-old woman means get your ass to the emergency room. So yeah, you're a bit of a drama queen.
Yeah, or that it means like, hey, the 8-ball is supposed to last you all weekend, right?
Right.
Not like 2 hours.
Your heart is pumping so hard, it's boiling your blood. I needed to leave for the pain in my head. I had nothing. 104 temperature. You need more than a leave, sweetie. I needed to leave for the pain in my head. I had nothing. I called my security. Can you please get me something to relieve the pain in my head? My fever is pretty high.
See, now this sucks. Can I just go ahead? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Please. That's what we're doing.
But these are security guys, and she's treating them like butlers or like room service or like maids or whatever.
Wouldn't you? What are you paying them for? There's nobody crawling the walls of my compound. You're just standing around catching a paycheck. You can run to the CVS.
Shouldn't you have like a butler, or shouldn't you just go to the CVS your damn self?
I want to imagine that she's got a monkey that dresses like a butler. He's got all the fun pop star stuff.
Can't she get Jamie Lynn Spears to go to CVS for her or something?
See, this is why you want to have your little ne'er-do-well sister around. I called my security. Can you please go get me something to relieve the pain in my head? My fever is pretty high. Immediately, they said, sorry, no, I can't leave the premises. I have to stay on property. So I said, of course, unless there's an emergency, and this is an emergency. I have a 104-degree fever. Okay, so she still has not addressed the point of this, which is Jamie Lynn. She's just talking about her fever and how she can't get her security, whom I assume she pays, to do something when she wants it. Isn't that weird?
Butler, yeah.
Like, who's paying them? She's Britney fucking Spears. Excuse my French, but that's what you're here to protect. I need you to go do something. What do you mean no? What do you mean no?
Yeah, that's not one of the options.
No is not one of the options. You're fired, and I'll have a new security team here tomorrow. Sorry, no, I can't leave the premises. I have to stay on property. So I said, of course, unless there's an emergency, and I have 104 fever. I told him the other security leaves sometimes during emergencies. How many emergencies are you having, Britney? It wasn't what he said to me. It was the sarcasm in all capitals. Like she's in a pissing match with her security guy. This isn't a thing. When you have a security person, there's no pissing match with the security person. They work for you. You know?
You do what I say or I'm firing you right now.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do what I want anyway. So why are you stopping me?
It wasn't what he said to me. It was the sarcasm in his voice when he told me he couldn't go get it for me. Now, at this point, I'm reading this and I'm thinking, wait, does she still think that she's do these security guys still think that she's under the control of the father? You know, because she's free now. These people aren't answering. Who's still paying them? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. Anyway,
Somebody.
I would assume it's Britney. Or Is this ne'er-do-well guy that she's hanging out with? Is he like now her Svengali?
Well,
Is he
who is her manager? Because she's not booking her concert dates.
her
She's not putting all the pieces together.
her manager is like the weird swarthy guy that she's been hanging out with for a couple of years now. I think it's her boyfriend too. He's like real sketchy. He's like, and he's the guy that they're all worried about going to take her money, and he probably will. But she loves him. She's one of those things. I told him the other securities guys leave sometimes in emergencies. It wasn't what he said to me. It was the sarcasm in his voice when he told me that he couldn't go get it for me. Oh, well, looked at my phone and I see that my sister did an interview to promote her book. I watched it with 104 fever. LOL. And it was actually kind of nice having a fever so high because I had to surrender to not caring. Okay. She goes on to say, just couldn't give a fuck, but my head hurt so bad. Of course, I'm a drama queen. If I get sick, you've already mentioned this, Britney.
Yeah, we got it. You're a drama queen.
We got it. And trust me, we didn't need this little piece of information.
We knew you were a drama queen.
You were a drama queen. Just couldn't give a fuck, but my head hurt so bad. Of course, I'm a drama queen if I get sick. So I think that I'm always dying. One of these times you're not going to be wrong, honey. I don't think you're going to make it. Just based on other pop stars with the sort of history that you've put forth. You know what I mean?
Nikki McKibben, Bob Saget. Yeah.
Just saying. Well, I don't know if I would include Bob Saget.
Okay, Nikki McKibben.
Elvis. I was thinking like, Cobain, Elvis, people like that. Morrison, people like that. Of course, I'm a drama queen if I get sick. So I always think I'm dying. I'm not even joking. My body had chill bumps everywhere, like I was freezing, yet my body was extremely hot and I couldn't move. It was pretty intense. She's like a 16-year-old trying to get out of school.
She can barely write.
I know she's illiterate. I'm fine today. Okay, so 104 temperature last night, but fine today. Usually doesn't work that way. Usually it's like a tapering off.
She sounds like how I speak Spanish, right?
What,
like a third grader,
like
right?
A millennial pop star,
right?
I don't get it.
I feel better today.
I'm fine today, just sore, and the fever has made my head extremely sensitive. I also couldn't even touch my own body. My skin was too sensitive. Okay, enough about my sick experience. Anyway, the two things that did bother me that my sister said was how my behavior was out of control. She was never around me much 15 years ago at that time. So why are they even talking about that unless she wants to sell a book at my expense? Really? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yes, Brittany, she wants to sell a book at your expense. Duh.
Did you figure that out? Then where the lady is Juju Chang. Then where the lady mentioned why did she, Jamie, accuse me of doing or what? Then the lady mentioned why did she accuse you of doing remixes of her songs? Okay, so I had to look this up. I had to see what this was about. So apparently at like the 2019 Disney Kids Choice Awards or whatever, they brought out Jamie Lynn Spears to perform, and Jamie Lynn Spears just did a medley of Britney songs.
Okay, that is kind of weird, though.
It's like Gallagher, too. Do you know the story of Gallagher, too?
He has a brother that looks like him, right?
And Gallagher wanted to. Gallagher's a shit person. I had him on a show once. He's just a terrible guy. He's mean.
Don't say that. I love Gallagher.
He's funny.
I'm the only one that says that. But
no, he's funny. Look, he's funny. He's a prop comic, but whatever. But he's a mean, angry dude. So Gallagher, at some point in his career, decided that he could cover the whole country. Like he could be two places at once if he just got his brother who looks like him to do his act. So Gallagher would be like, the real Gallagher would be like at the Pacoima Funny Firm, right? And then Gallagher 2 would be at like South Carolina Charleston Chuckles, and they'd be playing the same night. And so he figured, And he did this for years. Gallagher and Gallagher 2. You bought tickets thinking you were seeing Gallagher, but then you checked the fine print and it said Gallagher 2. And it was just another dude doing the entire right down to the sledge-o-matic and all of that. Crazy. So that's what Britney is referring to here. Britney was very upset back in 2019 when Disney trotted out Jamie Lynn Spears at their award show, and she did a medley of Britney songs. Weird, for sure. Then the lady mentioned, why did she accuse you of doing remixes to her songs? And then Britney says, I know it may sound like a silly thing to most people, but I wrote a lot of my songs, and my sister was just a baby. She never had to work for anything. Everything was always given to her. If you were me, you might understand asking for 13 years for remixes to go into a small venue show and on tours. So apparently Britney's saying that for like years, Jamie's been saying, can I do your music and go on tour? Like a total Gallagher thing.
Yeah,
Right?
That's not a bad idea.
And so now Britney's going, stop doing that. I don't want you to do that. 13 years of me to go into small venues and shows and go on tour. 13 years later, they assign me as the mother of all, heart of gold. See, she's rambling. It honestly doesn't make sense. I've read this passage probably 20 times in the last 2 hours, and I don't know what she's talking about. Britney sitting there seeing, this is Britney writing this, talking about herself. Britney, hi, I'm Britney, I'm writing this. Britney sitting there seeing a 15-minute performance of everything that I have ever wanted, but see, I always was the bigger person. She's borderline illiterate, man. I'm telling you.
She is.
They all got to, capitals, do it and play me. And I always sat there and took it. But see, now it's a joke. The last thing I would ever do is ask for what was just given to her. So yes, they did ruin my dreams. I do remember asking my sister why she did that when she knew I was waiting to change my show. And her only words were, well, it wasn't my idea. Hope your book does well, Jamie Lynn. I won't be doing Instagram for a while. The media, this business has always been extremely hateful to me, which is true. I don't feel bad for it now. I've given enough, more than enough. I was never given back anything that I wanted. They say in the Bible, oh, here we go, ask and you shall receive. Not in my life, just like my family. I asked security for a leave as I laid there with 104-degree fever in bed, and he told me, no, my family ruined my dreams 100 billion%, and try to make me look like the crazy one while I have 104-degree fever. Like, she keeps going back to this thing. Like,
yeah, I heard about that fever. You gonna be all right, or?
But the fever, you didn't have the fever for the last 35 years of your life, Brittany. You're talking about what your family has done to you throughout the course of your life, and then you keep going back to when I had a fever. Not being able to, when I had 104-degree fever, not being able to move in my bed. My family loves to pull me down and hurt me always, so I am disgusted with them. Well, now my temperature is 101. And that's it. That was it. That was just some weird, rambling response from Britney. Barely legible. I can't read it. It made no sense. Punctuation is all over the place. You know, did she not go to real school? Or was she homeschooled in the garage because she was doing dancing lessons all day long?
Well, she was a Mouseketeer, so she was getting tutored when she wasn't on set.
Oh, my God.
So she didn't really go through the same kind of schooling that you and I had.
And, you know, I actually feel bad for her. I mean, I do feel bad for her. She was...
Well...
No, because look, here's her argument. This is what I've been... like I said, I read it like 20 times trying to figure out what she was getting at. And here, let me interpret. Let me be a Britney interpreter. Here is what she's saying. She resents that Jamie Lynn was able to have a career based on her success, based on Britney's success. Jamie Lynn got a Disney show in 2001 when Britney was a huge star, right? And what she's saying there is that I'm the one that had to do all the small clubs. I'm the one that had to struggle. I'm the one who had to fight for my break. I'm the one who had, you know what I mean? She's saying she's legit. There was nothing handed to Britney Spears. She had to go on cattle call audition. She's the one that didn't get to, go to school. We just talked about it, probably learning how to read in her garage in between dance lessons. She's the one that had to struggle for all of this stuff. And she seems to be resenting that Jamie Lynn has had nothing but a life of my big sister's Britney Spears, which opens a lot of doors, which makes a lot of things easier for the little sister. So that's what I get from that. I get that Britney is just resentful, that Jamie Lynn is actually spent the last 20 years of her life, or whatever, 15 years, whatever, basically just capitalizing on Britney's hard work. And I understand that. But lay off the security guys, okay? Fire them if they won't get you a leave. If you want to leave from the CVS because you've got 100, call a doctor. You have 104-degree temperature.
No, here's what you do. You grab your car keys, you go get in your car, you start it, you drive your own ass to Walgreens like the rest of humanity, and you get yourself some Aleve. You are not beholden to the whim of some dude in Ray-Bans on whether or not you get a leave. You're a bazillionaire, and they can't stop you. Well, that's the weird part is they can't stop you. Like, she is voluntarily being stopped by these people.
Britney can't go to the CVS. She can't. It'd be nuts. Although, would it? Would it be nuts?
No.
I mean, it would be nuts if somebody called ahead of time and then put it out on social media that Britney was going to be at the CVS in 20 minutes, right? Then maybe. But if you just walk in, like, have you ever seen a celebrity out in the wild where it wasn't expected? Where you just
and the first thing you notice is that although you think this is the biggest person in the world, about 80% of the people have no idea who they are.
The first thing you notice is that, holy shit, that guy looks like.
Because that bitch looks just like Britney Spears. That's so weird. Oh, man.
And she can wear a baseball cap. Maybe it's different if it's in Britney Spears' known neighborhood where a lot of celebrities are. You know what I mean? Like,
and then you're used to it. And then you're a dick if you say anything.
I'll give you an example. I was at a Walgreens in downtown Chicago a couple of years ago. I took pictures of it. There's pictures.
And you saw Jesse.
No, I didn't. I saw William H. Macy. I don't know if you watched Shameless, but I knew that Shameless was shooting around, and so I get in line at the Walgreens. We're doing a checkout, and this dude is standing in front of me, and I mean, it's obviously William H. Macy. Now, he's not Brad Pitt, right? He's not George Clooney. He's a character actor, but he's got a very recognizable face. And I go, and I lean into him, and I go, hey, man, I just want to tell you that I love Shameless. Are you guys shooting around here? And he turns and he goes, oh, yeah. We're right around the corner. I'm just grabbing a little lunch. And he had a sandwich and he had a Gatorade. And I go, cool. And he goes, hey, thanks for whispering. I go, no problem. He didn't want everybody going, hey, because in Chicago, it's a little different because Shameless is filmed in Chicago and people in Chicago love his character of Frank. So maybe he's got to be a little bit more. But I didn't think it was him at first. I didn't think it was him. I had to stand behind him and I had to really figure it out. And then I was like, this is him. This is William H. Macy. But when you see a celebrity out in the wild, you don't think it's them. You just think it's somebody who looks like them.
Yeah, and so Britney Spears could go to Walgreens, especially in whatever neighborhood she lives in. It's like rich people who probably wouldn't recognize her if she walked up and said, hi, my name's Britney Spears. They'd be like, hi, my name's Ethel Merman or whatever.
And how bad would it be if people did recognize her? Hey, Britney at the CVS.
It's not a bunch of screaming teeny boppers who are going to be asking her for an autograph or a selfie or whatever. Yeah, who cares?
Although, I will add this. She probably does have paparazzi outside her house all the time, especially in the wake of her sister doing this interview. So, yeah, come on, man. Look, we're talking about Britney's she's still a person of interest. She's still someone, because at any moment she's so volatile and she's so unpredictable that any minute, she could do something totally wacky. So maybe, I don't know, but I do think she probably needs to either call a doctor when she's a 40-year-old woman with 104-degree temperature during a pandemic. Maybe you want to take a rapid test, Britney. Maybe you want to get a doctor there. Take a little horse dewormer. I don't know what you're into, whatever the deal. But 104-degree temperature for a 40-year-old woman, that ain't normal. That ain't okay. That's an emergency room visit. That's a bed of ice.
I'm skeptical of that 104 reading.
Well, of course. She's way over dramatic. It was probably like 99.8. But she knew that didn't sound good. So she had to jack it up. All right, I want to show you one thing. I don't know if you got anything. I mean, I know we're going to break down the Cowboy game. I want to do that. But I want to show you a video that I watched, and I would like to get your take on it, okay? Now, this comes from a Supercross event. I don't know if you're familiar with the world of Supercross, but it's
the motorcycle guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like a bunch of dirtbag lowest common denominator gear queer weirdos and their stripper girlfriends.
And they're 99% white.
Oh yeah.
Only white people do things this dumb. The entire X Games could be renamed Dumb Things White People Do.
This is like the white trash Super Bowl, this Supercross event. If they're in a jam-packed football stadium, there's probably 100,000 people there.
Woo!
Exactly.
A lot of that.
And some tramp flashes her boobs. Okay,
hey, that's someone's daughter there, Pugs. Easy.
Nah, she's a super.
It's the love of someone's life.
She's Supercross trampy girl. She's probably a stripper. Not that all strippers are bad, but she's free with her boobs. And basically, what happens here is
can you full screen this for me?
Yeah, sure can. Supercross trampy girl. Decide. I've also got the uncensored version. This is the censored version.
Well, why are we even bothering with this? Why are you?
Because I thought my kid might be watching.
Oh, okay. Stop it, Mace. Go away, please.
I don't know.
Log out.
I don't need that headache. All right, so look, she's a stripper or a wannabe porn star. There's videos of her out there somewhere circulating. You can just tell by her look. Look, she's expertly holding her beer in her mouth while she pulls her top. You know what? Screw it. We're gonna do the uncensored, because you know what? I think you people deserve the uncensored. I really do. We'll do the uncensored.
Why keep it classy? Yeah.
Where's the uncensored version? Here we go. Motocross Mama. Okay. All right. So.
Well, when you use the unaltered source material, that is proper journalistic integrity.
All right. So sharing.
Yeah.
All right. So you see her. Look, hey, let's find the black faces. Let's see if you're right. Let's see if Supercross 2020.
See if 1 out of 100 are black. Yes.
Yeah. All right, so she's like in the shit seats. So she doesn't even have a guy that can hook her up with good seats. She's just with like her dirtbag motorcycle riding boyfriend. She's just, some stripper or whatever, some porn star wannabe. And she decides she's going to take her boobs out and she's going to start going, look at my boobs.
She could be topping her class at pre-med or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, she's not. But she is expert at holding a beer in her mouth while she pulls her top down.
Doctors can do that.
Can they? Okay, so surgery. You got to do a lot of things. You got to use got to be able to multitask.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so here's the situation that happens here. So she pulls her boobs out. The baboons that are surrounding her are going nuts. The toothless fools. Look at them all. I ain't never seen boobs before.
Stop. They all look like me. Every single one of them looks like me right now.
Just look at them. So they're all going nuts because, boobs. And unfortunately, some Karen mom has her kids there and she ain't having it. So Let's see what happens here. Oh, mom's mad. Okay. Coming all the way up. I ain't taking that.
What's
Just go leave. Now the mom is saying, I brought my children.
Go back to your seat. Go back to your seat. Hands.
Look at this guy.
Something real is being said. We're missing something. Some brutal speech.
She's basically just saying, I brought my kids. And stripper girl is like totally looted out. She's like, okay, whatever. And this guy's like, dope. So that's what's happening.
Go back to your seat. Go back to your seat.
And now it's turning really bad for mom. Now the whole crowd is turning on mom all at once. Aaron Rodgers showed up. That's look at this guy.
And he's not impressed.
Look at these people.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is like, listen, I got a first round bye and you're ruining it.
I'm out here. Now, Aaron Rodgers is explaining to her that the kids aren't even going to remember this. What they're going to remember is, because I could make that out. I listened to it a number of times. He's saying, what they're going to remember is you being an asshole. Now they're getting her out of here, booing her. Oh, now she wants to fight everybody. Look at that. Of course, we got a guy in the back there wearing jorts. Look at that. Look at the Supercross track. Look at how high up they are. They got shit seats. So now she goes back. She's thinking about it again. Now she wants to come back. They're all laughing at her. You got that guy. She's coming back. She wants more.
Oh, you're throwing beer at her. You're throwing beer at her. Now it's on.
Oh, no.
Threw the beer.
He's getting hit.
Is she going after the dude or the chick? Who's she going after?
But now, old guy in flat-brimmed hat who doesn't realize he's 60 is coming to the rescue. 60-year-old skateboarder.
What was she saying?
I don't know. Let's find out. Let's see what she's saying.
Go back to your seat! Go back to your seat!
Do you guys have children? Do you guys have children? All right. And then there's another video from another angle where you
Stop
really
drawing so much attention to the boobs. She drew more attention than the boobs than the original boob did.
Thank you. Now, here is my take on this whole thing. Your kids are more traumatized by the behavior that you displayed. First of all, you took them to a Supercross event. I'm sure that they have seen shit, maybe not boob, maybe not. They've heard things. They've heard words they've maybe never heard before. They're inhaling noxious gasoline fumes up there in the cheap seats for the last 2 hours or however long one of those events go on. Lady, they're just boobs. I don't understand what you, right? I mean, at some point, it's madness. It's ridiculous. You're acting like what she's doing is she's trying to be morally superior by being, I am a mother. You are showing boobs when my children are here. Stop it. It's just boobs. What you should have done is done what, any other, I think, normal parent would do, which is, Bobby, turn around, cover his eyes, do whatever you got to do, enjoy the rest of your stupid hillbilly motocross race or whatever the hell it is that you're doing out there. I don't know. Right? I mean, mom deserved to get beer thrown on her. Mom totally overreacted. I mean, there's nobody there behaving well because, again, we're at a Supercross event. But
yeah, well, it's also, even if that is your preference, that no one flashes their boobs in the crowd around you when you're at their motocross event, is this going to accomplish your goal? Is this going to right the wrong? Is this going to undo it? No, you're only creating more tension and the possibility for escalation, which happened.
Her body, her choice. What happened?
Well, I would also like to point out how me and my wife just love this scenario wherever we go. Like if we were at the motocross race, me and the redheads next to me, and she does the same thing. She whips out her boobs and starts bouncing on. Woo! She's the hero. This is the best motocross ever. You thought the motorcycles were awesome. Look at this redhead up here just shaking. However, if I pull my genitalia out and I start doing the helicopter, call the cops. It
Nobody
really
wants
is.
to see that.
Not only does no one want to see that, there will be just fists raining down on me from all angles. And
yeah.
Cops will come and it'll probably be on the news. Some sexual predator just whipped it out at the motocross. Can you believe this?
Yeah, you would be a sexual predator.
Isn't it funny how
you would be a sex criminal? If
me and my wife, she is just like the female version of me, and I'm the male version of her. So, but if she exposes herself, best party ever. If I expose myself, call the cops and just beat him all to hell. If you kill him, it'll be like, well, whatever. He was like a predator of some sort.
Best party ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the total opposite. Call the cops, best party ever.
All right, let's segue here. Why not?
Cowboys? Yeah.
Yeah. Sunday afternoon. Now, we're going to end the show early tonight. We're only going to do about an hour or so of this show. But we wanted to do a little bit, because come on, Cowboys are on a run, baby. Come on, let's do it. First time in decades when we actually have some, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess every time the Cowboys make the playoffs, we think they're going to do something. And unfortunately, it hasn't been since the 90s since they have.
Okay, but let's go ahead. You're trying to set context. I think I can set the proper context. In the last 10 years, there's been 2 legitimate runs at the Super Bowl for the Cowboys who had a stellar roster, a stellar regular season schedule, a regular season record, and both times they got knocked out by who? One was Dez with the catch against Green Bay. The other one was that ridiculous comeback in Dak and Zeke's rookie season where Aaron Rodgers knocked them out on one of those last second where they scored with like 50 seconds left, but that was enough time for Aaron Rodgers to come on down and retake the lead. Remember that? That was just like 4 years ago or 3 years ago. 4.
Don't I also remember this has to, maybe this is probably longer. This is probably going back a decade now, but the fumble, the Tony Romo fumble against.
Yeah, that was 2006. 2006
that was a long time ago. That's as far back as I go with these, the Cowboy follies, the postseason follies. All right. So, first of all, I'm very excited. We got a super wild card weekend. We got games out. We even got games on Monday. We got games on Saturday. We got games on Sunday. We got games on Saturday night. We got games on Sunday night. We even got a Monday night game. Now, for my money, I think Cowboys Niners. I think that's the second most interesting matchup of the weekend. The first one, look, obviously the Cowboys Niners is the most important one to us, but I mean, Bills Pats, that's going to be a good game. It's going to be like 0 degrees up there in Buffalo. But we won't talk about that. We do want to talk about the team that we're rooting for. It should be fair to say that we are I both rooting for the Cowboys. Yes?
Oh my God, yes. Jesus. Oh Lord. I grew up a Cowboys fan since day one. The first quarterback I remember was when I was 3, and it was Roger Staubach. So
I don't really care so much about the Cowboys. I mean, I've been a pretend Cowboy fan for a lot of years. I mean, I used to have to pretend to like the Cowboys because you can't not like the Cowboys.
Wait, no. I know how to explain this because I've now done what you've done. I moved from the Dallas area to New Orleans for like 15 years, and here's the perfect analog. The Cowboys are my biological team. That's where I was born. I was born right outside of Dallas, and so
team of your youth.
Yeah, and so, it's like my biological parents. I was raised in the household with both of them. And so no matter where you send me from here on out, I will always be a Cowboy fan, from birth. But when I moved to New Orleans and was there for 15 years, that became here's the 2 ways. It can be your team in law, like just the team you sort of married into, or like your step team, like your stepmom or your stepson.
Because I refer to it as my foster team. That's like, so like the Cowboys are my foster team. The Chicago Bears are the team of my youth. The Cowboys I always referred to as my foster team. Now, I didn't root for the Cowboys with all of my heart because,
it's not the same as your biological kid, right? You can say the step kids are just like the biological kids, but it's not. It's not.
You don't care about the foster kid. That foster kid goes out on a Friday night and comes home late. You're not really that worried.
No, but compared to some random kid off the street, sure, of course you care about the foster kid, but compared to the biological kid, like if they're fighting, you want the biological kid to win every time.
But here's where it's changed for me in the last 3 years. I don't know how I did this, but I created a little Texan, and I've got a little Texan who's a football fanatic, and he's spent his entire life here in the Dallas area, and he's a standout football player, and he loves football, and he loves the Cowboys. So, I mean, over the last 3 years, I've become a legitimate Cowboy fan because, I mean, your kids, you have young men. Are they Cowboy fans or are they Saints fans? Because I know that they grew up in New Orleans.
They're more Cowboys fans than Saints fans, but they're a little.
Made them Cowboy fans.
They're a little of both, but it's also they're still young enough that they just do whatever the hell I tell them.
My little 12-year-old Dallas Cowboy fan has no idea of the heartbreak that is involved with being that all in on one team. He has no idea. He thinks they're going to the Super Bowl. He thinks that they're the greatest team of all time. And it's just, so I'm with them. I'm there. I'm supporting them. And, through the course of the last couple of years, and they haven't been really easy the last couple of years.
No.
We survived the Jason Garrett years, and now we got Mike McCarthy, which is so tough for me because, I'm not a Green Bay Packer fan, and I still remember that man as the devil. But hey, I also seem to know, I'm not going to say it. At any rate, for the first time, this is the first Cowboy playoff run where I am honestly rooting for him because I don't want my kid's heart to be broken. He's not going to take it well. I just don't want to deal with that.
I thought the run that they did during Dak and Zeke's rookie season, I was all in on that one because the storyline was just too incredible. Because first off, how often do you have it on the same team that the best quarterback that year and the best running back that year are on the same team, and then throw in the extra difficulty standard of both of them are rookies? Because Zeke in 2021 is not the Zeke that we saw his rookie year in, what was that, 2017 or 2016? Yeah.
Yeah, no. Well, is he healthy? That's, I guess, the question. And you want to think after watching the game last week against the Eagles that he's healthy. But man, don't get drawn into that because Dak threw 5 touchdowns. Zeke looked like he was back to being the Zeke of the Zekeness. But man, you were playing the second and third string Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, it was a nice way to warm up for the playoffs, but they ain't playing a second string team. 49ers are, here's the thing. This is what I told my son this afternoon, and he got so mad at me. He was like, because I told him, I go, we're going to talk about the Cowboys tonight. And he goes, what are you going to say? And I go, well, buddy, you need to prepare yourself because here's the truth of the matter. The San Francisco 49ers are a team that can beat any team in the NFL. And the Dallas Cowboys are a team that can lose to any team in the NFL. That's really what's happening here. Now, the Cowboys on paper, I think the Cowboys are better. Vegas agrees. They're a 3-point favorite. But that's a 3-point home advantage. You know what I mean? That's not a real comfortable line. That doesn't say the bettors do not believe the Cowboys are going to dominate this game. They only gave them 3 points. They're the home team. The home team's always going to get, a little bit of a bump. So what are you thinking for the game? What has to happen, James Parker? Break it down for me.
Well, we know how to beat the Cowboys, and that shut down the offense. The defense is good, but you're always going to get points on the defense. They don't really even get close to a whole lot of shutouts. There's always going to be exceptions out there. So it really comes down to, does our offensive line keep their defensive line off of Dak? Because he has shown that if he has a little time, he'll make it happen. And if he can't make it happen with his arm, he can at least fudge it with his legs until something opens up. I'm not too worried about the fallout of Zeke. Zeke crossed 1,000 yards, but only because we had an extra game versus every other season he's ever played in. And so I don't want to say he's fallen off because that's really hard to say about a 1,000-yard a season guy. But even if we don't, we have Pollard, who will be back. I think he was out. Was it a COVID or was it an injury? Because I don't remember seeing him in the last game. And they had this Clements guy in who all of a sudden was just tearing it up again against the second and third stringers from Philly. But still, there's a little bit of a bench there in the backfield. So I'm not worried about the running game. If the offensive line plays good, the running game's going to happen. We've got 3 guys that can do it. If the offensive line plays good, the passing game's going to happen, even with great coverage. And actually, this is how the Cowboys match up well against the 49ers. If they have a problem, it is their secondary. The secondary is their weak link across both sides of the ball.
Who are you talking about? 49ers? Or the
49ers secondary is their weak link.
The 49ers defensive front is nothing to laugh at. Bosa is a monster. Armstead is a monster. They got Freddie Warner in the middle there, stopping the run. They're tough against the run. They're also a team that brings a lot of pressure. So what Dak is going to... Here's the interesting thing about the game plan here, how they're going to match this up. This is the thing that I find most fascinating. Dan Quinn used to be... Kyle Shanahan and Dan Quinn know each other as well as anybody. Kyle Shanahan, the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers, and Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. They were together when Dan Quinn was the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Kyle Shanahan was his defensive coordinator. So Dan Quinn knows how Shanahan thinks, and Shanahan knows how Quinn thinks. That's going to be that's where the real battle is. Does Quinn know enough about the trickery of a Kyle Shanahan and his offense? And don't be sleeping on, look, I know we love when Dak is hot, Dak looks unbeatable. When Dak is throwing down, but Jimmy Garoppolo and that Kyle Shanahan offense, they have the largest yards per pass in the NFL. Deebo Samuels is having a freaking historic season. He's the first wide receiver since the merger in 1970 to have 1,300 yards receiving and 300 yards as a running back. He's a Swiss Army knife back there. He throws touchdown passes. He runs the ball from the backfield. He is going to be moving. Shanahan is going to use him all over the place. That's the guy that scares me. Now, what are you going to do with someone like Deebo Samuel? Do you take a Micah Parsons and say, look, you got to be his shadow the entire game? Or do you put it on Diggs? Because Diggs has a lot of picks, but Diggs also gets burnt. And if somebody's going to be able to burn Diggs, it's going to be Deebo Samuels. I don't know. And if you put Micah Parsons on Deebo Samuel the whole game and just have him go man to man and follow him throughout the backfield, then you're basically eliminating what you get in Micah Parsons, because at that point they can just use Deebo as a decoy. And that's now you got to deal with Kittle. I mean, I just don't think this is going to be an easy game for the Cowboys. I think it's going to be a real struggle. I think it's a scary game, a real scary game.
They're all scary with the Cowboys because, like you said, the Cowboys could lose to anybody. They could lose to the Lions this weekend if they had to play them. They would find a way. But I don't think anyone is out to lay any eggs. And, some of these games can happen where you have like 4 turnovers and it's just a bad day and you would have won if y'all had played 5 times. You would have won 4 of them. And I think that might be what the Cowboys are walking into is as long as they don't do anything really stupid, I think they match up good against the 49ers. And it really all comes down to, can the offensive line of the Cowboys control the defensive line of the 49ers? Because I don't think there's really much of a chance that the 49ers are going to be able to stop everything the Cowboys defense is throwing at them. Micah Parsons is going to get there.
Yeah, but the 49ers are the best offensive line in the NFL. That is an offensive line that is number one in just about every important category in the offensive line. I mean, if anybody is going to be able to stop the pressure, and remember, Micah Parsons is probably going to be taken out of his regular role because they're going to need to put somebody on Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel is going to have to be accounted for on every single play. And when you're a guy like Micah Parsons, who has the ability to go sideline to sideline as quickly, there's really nobody else you can put on him. That's who you want to put on him. Because you don't want him streaking down the sidelines, because as we've seen all season, Diggs can get burned. However, the good thing for Diggs is that Jimmy G throws picks. Jimmy G, I mean, Diggs has more picks than anybody else, right?
Yeah,
so
he does.
He's got a quarterback that is going to play right into his strong suit.
Is this Jimmy Garoppolo's last game as a 49er?
Well, it depends on how far they go. If they lose, possibly. And that's the other thing. How are we going to use Kyle Shanahan, man? This dude is a really fascinating offensive mind. This guy loves his.
You think he's going to sprinkle in Trey? Is that what you think?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think we've seen that the last couple of weeks where Trey Lance is going to come in and there are certain plays that are designed specifically for him. And he's a trickster. He's a little Loki back there. The thing that really concerns me, and this is what's concerned me for the last 5-6 weeks with the Dallas Cowboys, I don't know if their offense is truly potent or if it's just that when Dak is hot, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I don't trust Kellen Moore.
Didn't they lead the league in scoring? And weren't they the number one offense?
The Cowboys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think that what we're going to see, I don't know that Dak is going to have all kinds of time in the pocket. I think that guys like I said, I think Bosa is going to be coming for his head on absolutely every down. I think Armstead on the other edge is going to be coming for his head. I think that he's going to have to be doing these dink and dunk passes. If that's the case, then guys like Schultz and guys like Zeke out of the backfield could be deadly, because the 49ers' real Achilles heel is their D-backs. They've been burned. They've been shown to be not the great. But again, the front push on the 49ers, it's really good. And I don't know that Dak's going to have a whole lot of time. But, you flush Dak out of the pocket and then he runs for 15 yards. So, I don't know. I'm excited. I think this is not the matchup I want. Everybody said, well, the Cowboys really dodged the bullet not getting the Rams or Cardinals. I'd rather
I agree with that. No, I would
No,
rather have the 49ers. I think you're totally right. And look, I think even if the excitement of this game carries over into the next week, there's still the specter of Green Bay waiting on you. And Green Bay has been the Cowboy killer the last 2 deep runs that we made. Anytime we got out of the first round of the playoffs, it was Green Bay who stopped us, and it was that punk Aaron Rodgers who did it.
Bear fan, you don't have to tell me about Green Bay. They're the bane of my football existence my entire life, except for a short time in the 80s and early 90s. That's it. Other than that, and the other problem, if we are looking ahead, and that's the danger, if we're going to look ahead to Green Bay potentially looming somewhere down the line, you better believe that Aaron Rodgers, who's going to be the MVP, Aaron Rodgers is going to be the football MVP of the league this year. Aaron Rodgers wants to embarrass Mike McCarthy. They don't love each other. There's a reason that McCarthy left, right? He got fired, and the reason he got fired was because Aaron Rodgers was sick of his shit. So that is another reason to fear the Green Bay Packers. But don't get that far downfield, man. I'm telling you, the 49ers, Kittle is going to be a killer. Can Dak outplay Jimmy G? That's it. I think he can. I think he's a far better quarterback. If Jimmy G is forced to make bad passes, then, the Cowboys are going to do what their defense have been doing all year. They're going to get turnovers. But if that doesn't happen, and if we see the Cowboy offense that we saw a couple of weeks ago, where Dak didn't have a great game, there wasn't great routes being run, man, I don't know. I don't think that Cowboys defense is going to be able to stop the 49ers offense from scoring. I think that Kittle is too good. I think that Samuel is too good. And I think that if he's not being forced to throw into 2-man coverage, Jimmy G can be very effective. It's all about Dak for me. It is. Is Dak going to be super Dak?
Yeah, it's going to be a scoring competition. This is not going to be a defensive struggle.
No.
Both teams are going to be probably past 30 points. And I don't want to say the old hack line, it just depends on whoever gets the ball last. Yeah, it could depend on that. But, I mean, if one team has, like, the turnover bug, that will decide it. If one team has the penalty bug, that could decide it. If one team has a string of injuries that hamper the main game plan, that could do it. So it's a close game. I'm still leaning Cowboys, but there's no hacky answer to this one. It's going to be close.
James, it's going to come down to the team that scores the most points.
I don't know, man. No. That's great.
Some interesting stats, though, that I saw earlier today about this game. Do you know, this is crazy, man. Do you know that Jimmy Garoppolo is second in the NFL in winning percentage on the road? Only Patrick Mahomes has a better road winning percentage than Jimmy G. Patrick Mahomes is 26-7 for a 79% winning percentage on the road. Jimmy G is 19-6 with a 76% winning percentage on the road. Just to put it into some perspective, third place is Joe Montana at 72%.
We're not counting for this season. We're counting of all time.
This is of all time since the merger, since the 1970 merger.
Oh, my God.
Jimmy G is second only to Patrick Mahomes in road victories and percentage of wins on the road. I mean, 49ers are a road team, baby. They are. And it's funny because they were sleepy all year. Nobody 6-7 weeks ago were thinking that the 49ers were going to, there was some questions about their quarterback. And then Bosa had a monster year, and then they got Kittle back. Kittle's the best tight end. I don't care. Tell me all you want about Pitts, about being the reinvention of the tight end. The best tight end in the NFL is George Kittle of the 49ers. And he's back, and he's healthy, and he's scary. And what are you going to do? Are you going to put Micah Parsons on Micah Parsons on Kittle, or are you going to have him shadowing Deebo Samuel? Or are you just going to let him be what he is? And if that's the case, then you're putting a whole lot of pressure on your corners to cover two guys that can catch anything. I don't know. I'm worried. I have the Cowboys. You got a final score?
I can guess. It'd be like 42-38 is what
High
I see in my
scoring.
head. Yeah, no,
Oh, I
and
didn't
it'll
see
be
what the
within a
over is.
touchdown,
But
maybe.
okay, all right, very good. See, I was gonna go. I was thinking somewhere in the realm of like 30, 35. I think it's gonna. Oh God, what if it comes down to the kickers? What if it comes down to Zerline versus Robbie Gold? Because Robbie Gold is so good, and
Okay,
Zerline is so sketchy.
I also foresee some trash points. There's going to be like a special teams point or a pick
Yeah.
six or a scoop and score. Both of these teams do that, and both of these teams give those up.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing defensive. Maybe each defense gets a touchdown, or a special teams, a kick return, a punt return, something to that effect. These teams both like to get trash points and give trash points away. I've seen enough of the Cowboys and the 49ers this year to know some trash is going to end up on the scoreboard.
The 49ers absolutely like to give trash points to the opponents. Absolutely. Jimmy G is out there doling out ducks. Once a game, there's going to be a duck. Maybe Lawrence or Gregory or even Parsons will get a hand on a ball, and that thing will just go, wah, and it'll just be up in the air, and somebody will come down with it. There was another stat that I thought was really interesting, and I'm not a big stat guy, but I did see some interesting thing. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know. None of this. I just got a whole bunch of random shit.
So I'm one of the subplots I'm totally interested in is the Jimmy Garoppolo subplot, because what a unfortunate career this guy has had. So you get drafted by New England, you're not going to start. It's 2014 and you're in New England.
Mhm.
So you get a couple of grace games whenever there's trash points to be had, or when Brady got like injured for a couple games back in 2016 or something. And then you go to the San Francisco 49ers, which were kind of a dumpster fire at the time. You do great the times you're not injured, but you do spend quite a bit of time injured.
Yeah, he gets injured a lot.
So this is a guy that hasn't really failed. He's never really gone out there.
Have you seen him?
Have I seen him? Well, I've seen enough of him. I've just seen the only time you can really stop him is when he, tears a tendon of some sort.
Yeah, no, I mean, you ever seen him with the helmet off? You ever seen him in a suit? This is a guy, Jimmy G. I hate Jimmy G. Jimmy G's from the Chicago area. I remember hearing about him when he was a college quarterback or a high school quarterback. Jimmy G is I'll put it to you this way. One of the rumors about why he was so quick to be jettisoned out of New England was because Tom Brady didn't like that Giselle called him hot. That apparently Giselle, who is married.
Oh, he's a handsome man, huh?
He's the most handsome player in the history of football. Are you kidding me? Jimmy Garoppolo, imagine that. First of all, he comes from a moneyed area of Chicago, so he came up with money. His family has money. He's an athlete. He gets a scholarship.
He went to that classic quarterback college, though, Eastern Illinois.
Yeah. EIU.
Sean Payton, Tony Romo, and Jimmy Garoppolo, right?
Oh, yeah. And
anyone else?
Mike Shanahan, the father of
Jesus,
Kyle Shanahan. And who else is a EIU? Who else is an EIU guy? There was a time in the NFL where there were 3 head coaches of NFL teams who were from Eastern Illinois University, and there were 3 quarterbacks in the league that were from Eastern Illinois University, which is just, it's crazy. It is. That's the cool story about Tony Romo, about how the Dallas Cowboys drafted Tony Romo. Because Sean Payton, who was the offensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys at the time, during the draft said, look, if we're going to
this guy's breaking all my records, right?
Yes. Yeah. Sean Payton's records at Eastern Illinois University were all shattered by this kid, Tony Romo. So it got on the offensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys at the time's radar. And he said, look, if there's a chance to take him, let's take him. And they took him. And that guy turned out to be Tony Romo. Yeah. Crazy small little college that has really churned out a whole bunch of professional level offensive minds and quarterbacks. Mike, he was quarterback. He was not quarterback. He was head coach of the Vikings for a period of time, and now he got kicked out of he lost his
Zimmer?
job. No, that's Mike Zimmer. Now he's another kid from Illinois though. Mike Zimmer's from Lockport. Mike, I can't think of his name. He got booted out of the Vikings as head coach. He lost his job because he was selling tickets like on the secondary market. Like he would get tickets to games.
They weren't paying you enough, buddy.
I don't know if his kid was doing it or what, but it was Mike Tice. That's it. Mike Tice. He got booted out for selling tickets on.
Well, that's recent. I know that name.
5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was I want to say he was the coach of the Vikings before Zimmer, or maybe Les Frazier was in there in between, but whatever. Yeah. He's another EIU guy. I'm excited about this game. This is this a Sunday? What is it? Sunday afternoon, right?
Yes.
Is Sunday
it's
night
the
game.
fourth game.
All righty. Well, there you have it. I am going to say the Cowboys are going to win because that is all a part of where I am in my head now. But I'm really worried that they're not going to win and that I'm going to have to deal with an absolutely devastated 12-year-old. He does not handle losses well. Although he's gotten a little bit better because his second team is the Chicago Bears, and he's watched a lot of Bears games this year, so he's become accustomed to being disappointed on Sundays. So, we'll see that. All right, good game. Hey, here's what I want to do, though. We stopped doing pillow talk shows on Sunday nights because I have a kid on Sundays, not every Sunday, but I want to do a pillow talk this Sunday. I want to do a post. We'll just do a Cowboys thing. We'll watch the game and then we'll come on and we'll talk about the game. You want to do that?
Yeah, the Cowboys post-game show.
Yeah, we'll do that, but we'll do it at 9:00. So we'll do it after, whatever. There's probably going to be another night game that we'll miss, but we'll get into that. All right. God, I love this week. I love Wild Card Weekend. It's my favorite weekend of sports. Are you out of here? Is that you saying bye? There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. That's Parker.
Bye, everybody.
He's the Parker part of the Pugs and Parker show. There he goes. All right, so yeah, we're gonna do a little football after show on Sunday. Oh my God! Sorry. This ain't a bad Hinckley song, but I like the one we use. I like this one. We use this as our closing theme. See if there's anything else I want to talk about. All right, we did the motocross mama. Hey, Brian Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein had a girlfriend that he took. I don't know if you saw this story. It was circulating today about all the times that Epstein showed up at Clinton's White House. And every time he brought like a different girl. And one of the girls that Jeffrey Epstein showed up at the White House with, her name was Selena Middlefart. It's her real name. Selena Middlefart. Spelt, and I'm going to spell it for you the way Midelfart. Selena Middlefart was a girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein. Help me to be strong. However, Google her. She's like a Swedish billionaire business executive, and she is hot. You could overlook the name Middlefart. Holy cow. Little old for Epstein. Little old for Jeffstein, as far as from what I know about his tastes. The boom boom never ending quest. All right, we'll be back tomorrow at noon. Noon we'll do the high noon show. That's Pugs and Company. This is now Pugs and Parker, the night show. So Pugs and Company tomorrow, high noon. Join us, please. Tell your friends. Come one, come all. It'll be a good time. We'll talk about all the things that are trending, all the hot topics. We'll get you on. We'll get you ready for your weekend. All that good stuff. That is understood. Jeff in the chat room says, speaking of old cowboy QBs, Clint Longley used to drink at this little bar I hung out at in the early 90s. And this dude was always dropping names, especially his own, and was always waving his Super Bowl ring around. And this jackass would bum endless smokes off of me. Finally, one night he was waving his ring around and talking shit. And I told him, Clint, If you really want to impress me, buy yourself a pack of fucking cigarettes. Solid. Solid, Jeff, as always. Never ending quest. All right, bye, everybody. Love you. See you tomorrow at noon. The best is yet to come. Best to come. I have found a different way, so baffling to some. Whoa! Whoa! I have got an old guitar. That is all I need. I don't need no 401. I don't have the greed. Down the road I'll travel, far from this comfort nest. I am on a never-ending, yes, that's right, a never-ending quest. Another day, the best is yet to come. I have found a different way, so baffling to some. Whoa, whoa. I can smile a little now. Things are going good. I always had to be on guard. That is understood. Down the road I'll travel, far from this comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. Hit it, bang, 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 bong, be best.